music so I can finish getting stuff together. Uh-huh.
Peace, this is Brother Hatim, and you have joined us in Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.gyenamejourney.com.
All my brothers and sisters, hold hands and bow your heads. Let us pray. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth amongst the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? I say, send the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, ye are God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth. Thou shalt inherit all nations. Allahu Akbar.
This is Kadar Franks, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
This is Adnan Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Be sure to follow Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. Check us out. Join the journey.
This is Adnan Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio with Monica. Enjoy. Good morning, this is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
This is Willie. Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I want to give shout out to Silver Kevin, all my Silver Nation out there. I want to give shout outs to my mom. I want to give shout out to my dad for raising me and my family for being around me. And I want to give shout out to the people of my generation that's trying to do something big.
Cleveland, and you're listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Peace, Hotep. It's Mansour Hotep, aka Mr. Deity. Mr. Deity, does it sound good? I think it sounds great. Right now, you listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry its name. This is Brother Hatim coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shouts out to the Gye-Nyame tribe, Gye-Nyame family. Stand up. Peace. If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry its name. This is Brother Hatem coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shouts out to Gye-Nyame Tribe, Gye-Nyame family. Stand up. And you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Peace. This is Gina. And you are now
you listen to my daddy.
on Gye-Nyame
Journey
Radio. Peace.
Y'all heard the man. I had enough. Family, I think that we might have one of those classic shows tonight with one of those folk tales that is so direct and so simple that it's going to have to spark some conversation. It's going to have to spark some conversation. So what I want to do is start off with the reading of it. We got some people who already have scheduled to call in. We have a hell of a discussion for you. Some stuff that we have to deal with as a community, things that we have to deal with as individuals. You know what I'm saying? And Aesop is one of those that brings it home for us in its simplicity and its wisdom. Simplicity and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Because this is kind of what we need to look for in some of the solutions that we need as a group. And then as well as having that translate into our personal lives. Simplicity and wisdom. So somebody already joined me on the line. Who on the line with me right now? Can you hear me? Check 1, check 2. Oh, I got to call back in. I'm not on the line. I've been kicked off. Well. We're going to start that shit tonight, huh? All right. I'm up.
This call is being recorded.
All right, cool. I'm on the line. Somebody's on the line. Who's on the line with us? And welcome.
How are you?
I'm doing good. This is Brother Hatem. You are now on Gye-Nyame Journey. We are live on Spreaker, our Spreaker station. We are live on, let me go on and check, make sure. We're live on,
yes, sir.
We're live on, we're live on YouTube, our YouTube Gye-Nyame Journey channel. We're live on Hatem YouTube stream. We live on Periscope. We live on Stream.me. We're live on Hatem's Facebook, and we also live on Gye-Nyame Journey. Family, we are waiting for you to come into the conversation, so feel free to call. Don't be scared. We're about to kick it here right now. Who is this calling?
My name is Tico.
Okay, cool. How did you hear about the show, sir?
I actually heard about it from my cousin, Quasi.
So he should be calling in. You know he like to be late. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like
sir,
to be
yes,
fast
sir.
and be late. So what I'm going to do is first, I am going to start off with the proverb. I'm going to read it out there. The chat is open. If anybody's out there right now, if you could, post something up so I can make sure that I'm able to see you out there, because I want to make sure I give everybody shots that's taking time to chill with us, starting journey, support Google+. Google recently announced it will be shutting down Google Plus as a result on January 28th. Hootsuite will end support for Google Plus. My God, I'm just like I get bad news all the time, man. You know, so I be paying for all this stuff, and then all of everybody change how it works. So here we go, family. here is the folktale of the day. Let me go back to the chat and make sure I ain't missing nobody. All right. It's called The Thieves and the Cock. This is from Aesop Fables. I'm using the translation by George Fowler Townsend. There are other translations out there that you could use as well. I got this from a site called Forgotten Books, and they print up old editions of books.
Make sure I ain't missing nobody.
And make it. Is that must be me? Hold on. Only I would mess up like that. Why is it coming through? Hello? All right, cool.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yeah, I was just trying to make sure because something was playing.
Okay, yes, sir.
Trying to make sure it's me. All right, so, and you get this from Forgotten Books, and anybody that like old writings, old books, public domain, they call books in the public domain. This would be an excellent place for you to go so that you could go on and get and own and have in your hands the books, because you'll be surprised the books that are in public domain right now. And for those that don't understand what public domain means, is that the book belongs to everyone. So you could take a book and you could basically republish it. You know what I'm saying? Do a new edition of it. You know, just as long as you give credit to the original author. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in the public. All right, here we go. The Thieves and the Cock. We are on episode, I was shocked actually. We are on episode 1212 far as on Gye-Nyame Journey. Now, grown folks, folktales for grown folks, because I'm putting everything on Gye-Nyame right now, because I want, so I can have one link that I can send people to. It's a little bit slower. It's a little bit lower than that, but right now, family, we are approaching 3,000 different episodes of Gye-Nyame Journey. Just letting y'all know we ain't playing here. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. Some thieves broke into a house and found nothing but a cock, whom they stole and got off as fast as they could. Upon arriving at their home, they prepared to kill the cock, who thus pleaded for his life. Pray, spare me. I am very serviceable to men. I wake them up in the night to do their work. That is the very reason why we must the more kill you, they replied. For when you wake your neighbors, you entirely put an end to our business. And the moral at the bottom says the safeguards of virtue are hateful to those with evil intentions. The safeguards of virtue are hateful to those with evil intentions. So we just got somebody else come up on the line. Who else is out there?
Am I on mute?
Nope. You ain't. You're inappropriate.
I might have.
That's cool. This Gye-Nyame Journey. We grown folks. We know how to get down. So right now, for those that are new to the throw out folktales on this one and on Ujamaa, which is 2 days from now, we will be doing proverbs and quotes. So tonight we're doing a folktale, and the folktale is called The Thieves and the Cock. Now, do either one of Quasi, you had? I'm quite sure by us discussing this, we're going to eventually get to what you wanted to talk about anyway. But so do y'all want me to break it down? Y'all want me to read it again? Anybody out there in the chat, if you have something you want to say about it, by all means post it up, like and share so that we can make sure we get the word out and we keep on growing. Do y'all want me to read it again? Do y'all want to start or what? How y'all want to do this?
I mean, it's never a bad idea to reemphasize the story, you know.
All right. So let's go on and do it again. Here we go. Some thieves broke into a house and found nothing but a cock, whom they stole and got off as fast as they could. Upon arriving at home, they prepared to kill the cock, who thus pleaded for his life. Pray, spare me. I am very serviceable to man. I wake them up in the night to do their work. That is the very reason why we must kill you. They replied, for when you wake your neighbors, you entirely put an end to our business. And the moral is the safeguards of virtue are hateful to those with evil intentions. Shouts out to Brother Kwame. Thank you for posting up. I see y'all had a meeting on the Black Line. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you for using that, Brother Kwame. I seen you in the elders meeting. So Kwesi, I'm throwing it out to you. What you want me to do, my friend?
Well, I think this is it. Well, I don't know where to start, man. I'm excited. I'm all over the place. Don't worry about it. Day, man. A long, beautiful day. I love today. Today is my favorite day of my life. I just want to say that. So,
it shouldn't be because it's my day. Your day is about 4 to 6 days away, man. This is my day. This is Coochie Chagalia, right? This is Kwabana. This is Abina's day. This is Tianja's day. This is Tianja's day. This is Sister Navita's day. This is this is those Coochie Chagalia born. You was a Kwesi.
Well, y'all sure as hell know how to make a day because this day's been good to me.
Hey, matter of fact, I think you a Mani baby. You Kwesi, so you a Mani, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You missed your days 2 days ago. That was your day. You know what I'm saying?
I like that day too. I think today is the most beautiful day to me because it's the day that I'm currently inhabiting. You see what I'm saying? Like if Sunday was my best day, then that means I'm a dead motherfucker.
I can dig it. So people are coming in, family. Don't be scared to throw your comments in. Don't be scared to call in. The call-in number is 614-556. I'm gonna put it up. 614-556-4535. Kwesi been calling me off the hook because matter of fact, Kwesi called me yesterday because he thought the show was supposed to be going down yesterday, and he wanted to make sure that I was covering. He called to make sure I was broadcasting. Listen to me, family. So we're going to have some energy here tonight. This is going to be the conversation you're going to need to be in. So now, once again, I'm going to read it one more time. Kwesi, if you want to go in on it, if not, you go on and throw it over to me, and we can start the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because my piece is we got some new people in, and family is wisdom minded, and I want to make sure that
I'm warmed up. Go ahead and read it, and I'm gonna go. I'm going there.
All right, cool.
I don't want to keep folks waiting.
Now, listen, please, people out there, do not hide your wisdom because you never know who might need to hear what it is that you have to say. So you might be holding out on the very blessing that somebody need, the very word that somebody need directly from you that might change their life. So stop being stingy. Stop hiding your light. So here we go. The thieves and the cock. Some thieves broke into a house and found nothing but a cock. Now, let me go back. For those that don't know, a cock is basically a man chicken. It's a rooster. Okay? Because no porno. All right? But you can, after Kwame challenged me, and after reading this, it is kind of pornographic if you play with it in your mind. Some thieves broke into a house. Some thieves broke into a house and found nothing but a cock, whom they stole, and got off as fast as they could. Upon arriving at home, they prepared to kill the cock, who thus pleaded for his life. "Pray, spare me," said the cock. "I am very serviceable to men. I wake them up in the night to do their work." "That is the very reason why we must kill you," the thieves replied. "For when you wake your neighbors, you entirely put an end to our business." And the moral says, the safeguards of virtue are hateful to those with evil intentions. And I want us to pay a special attention to that moral. But let's get into it. Go ahead, Kwesi. You warmed up. Come on now. You did your stretches.
So, we we talked about. I told you that I wanted to talk about the NFL.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then you said that you was going. Then you told me to pair. You already said. You said before you even read it that you bet it was going to fit. I don't know if you planned it. I think sometimes you not just predicting the future. You be making shit happen. I don't know what you be doing. You got a crystal ball over there or something. But So when you read that parable, man, I'm thinking that. I was really concerned about what's going on with the NFL and just I'm concerned about what's going on in the country and what's going on the planet and what's going on in people's minds and in people's lives and what's going on in politics. I'm concerned. I am very much concerned, man. Like, I think that we are in a very perilous time. I think that we are in a very ripe time for fuckery. And I think that we have people in positions who like fuckery. I think that there's plenty of historical examples of fuckery. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day. They told us that he got killed by some random ass white dude, I think. But then come to find out his family sued the fucking government for assassinating him.
Right.
Like, that shit really happened. So fuckery is upon us.
Not just sue. I think they won.
Sued and won.
I want y'all to think about that shit. They didn't just sue. I think they might have won their case. You understand? And then on top of the fuckery that I want to just throw in real quick, we got motherfuckers that's still coming up with old information and saying shit like he was working for the government and blah blah shit. I be seeing shit on my timeline like that. And what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna have to start purposely unfriending motherfuckers that are just the ignorance is so deep, I can't fuck with you. I'm going to let the younger people who want to argue and shit with you about that. Because they put up there, he was a government agent, blah, blah, blah. And so the only thing I posted up on the line was, nobody in this discussion nobody in this discussion feel that this is wrong or inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like y'all going on some fucked up information. Because if you really look at Martin Luther King and Martin Luther King's struggle, see, because this is what people fucks up. As black people, we don't necessarily have leaders. Because this kind of blows people's mind. We don't have leaders. We have spokespeople, right? This is what leadership is about. It's about spokespersons and it's about service, right? So we look at shit and then we label shit what our enemy has told us to label it, so we connect a certain amount of energy with somebody that don't necessarily deserve that energy, because it wasn't Martin Luther King that did all that shit. It was the people with Martin Luther King that did all that shit. It wasn't Malcolm X. It was the people behind Malcolm X that made it possible for him to be able to speak up. And we got to understand this is something that we're missing, because we have very few institutions now where individuals are able to do what this cock does. This cock is the safeguard of virtue, are hateful to those with evil intentions. Now, a safeguard, somebody that safeguards something, like, for example, a safeguard in the community is someone that's able to speak out regardless of how other people feel about him. You can't starve him out. Why? Because he's fed by the community. They couldn't starve, as long as Malcolm was with the Nation of Islam, they couldn't starve him out. So he could get up and say what he wanted. As long as Martin Luther King was with who he was with and was in the community he was in, they couldn't starve him out. The only thing they could do was execute him. That's all they could do. Once these individuals became spokespeople for the community and was able to express the virtuous things that we need to be doing and the challenges, and letting people know, hey, they're coming for us. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what people fail to realize, really. Like, people love to talk about Malcolm and Martin and all of the people, all of the big time names of people. But what those people that we celebrate actually realized was that it wasn't about them. Their whole thing was that they was getting people support. You just said it. I'm just really rehashing what you just said, was that they get the people. You know what I mean? So, like, and so that's my thing with the NFL, man. It's like, it's a distraction. I think ultimately a lot of stuff is there's so many things going on right now that keep us distracted. I got my peoples on the line. I don't want to keep them waiting. I know we're eager to chime in this conversation. Really, I wanted to give them kind of somewhat of an introduction, normally, just so you know, I got my man Tico on the line, man, my people, my family, my good friends. What's happening, man? I wanted to, from here on out, just feel free to dive in. I know, I wanted to kind of give you an introduction before you kind of came in, and I want to talk about how we even came into being in the conversation. Because I wanted them to be on the line because I was saying something on Facebook about how I was concerned about the NFL. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know Tico chimed in, and he had an opinion. And I honestly, his original opinion was a little bit opposed to my opinion. And you know how we do around here. We love to have different opinions, and we love to flush those out. But the thing about him is, while his opinion definitely wasn't my opinion, I also, because he's a football fan. I'm a football fan too. I play football. Tico played college football, so he's
on another
more
level,
connected to the sport. You know what I mean? Than I played high school ball, but so. Penn State fan, we Ohio State around here. Well, I don't know how Tim, you don't even really watch football, do you?
No, it's kind of hard for me. I mean, I will watch with certain brothers when I go over their house and I'm kicking it with them, because it's kind of hard for me to watch that sport because I participated in it, and then it's really hard to be listening to people that didn't even do at the high school level and talk with them. You know what I'm saying? You got people that could give you positions and tell you everything about the sport, but they have never really been out there and really done it. It's sort of a different conversation because you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he could have just went to the right. You don't know how hard it is to go to the right when you got motherfuckers that are in top condition that's planning to stop you from going to the right. They should have did this. No, nigga, it's not that easy. You know what I'm saying? And so when you start talking with people, when you start talking with brothers that played on a collegiate level, see, because in high school we was playing with it. On the collegiate level, they go more to we're eating off of this, and in pros, we're living off of this. It's a whole different mind state. It's a whole different warrior. It's a warrior mind state, and it's hard to talk with people who have never been in the heat of that battle. You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard for me to watch the game because I want to play. You understand what I'm saying?
And so that's kind of why I wanted your opinion, Tico, is because I know that you played the game at a higher level than myself. But on the flip side, even though, I'm scared of the game at this point because I think there's so much going on. I think about like the Roman Coliseum days, the whole blood and circus idea, where they was using that as a distraction to keep the people docile and to not be engaged in what's happening when things was quickly spinning out of control in the Roman Empire, and before you knew it, it fall apart, and nobody in the peoples wasn't even really able to save themselves, So, but the thing about it, so with you being a college athlete, play some college football, you're also an educator, and so I was just kind of curious about how those two things kind of intersect and where you stand, and I don't know, I just kind of want to get a better idea of your opinion because I just got a little brief snippet of what you were thinking. So go ahead and expound on your thoughts, brother.
Oh, for sure, man, and thank you for the setup. I definitely agree with one of the things that you were saying. It is hard to talk to people about it if you weren't a part of it. You know what I mean? If you didn't invest in it. The famous saying, you wasn't with me when I was shooting in the gym, it kind of is hard to talk about that. And one of the things that I saw on your timeline was about David Banner and how he was talking about, and kind of what you're alluding to as well, the distractions, right? We got a lot of different things going on. As an educator, I'm in inner city, right? I'm seeing a lot of these things going on firsthand. We need books, right? When people are educated, they can make change. You know what I mean? That was part of, if you go all the way back to slavery days, oppression. They didn't want people to read. They didn't want people to have information, You see a lot of that still going on.
Oh, yeah.
yesterday was Martin Luther King Day, and he was talking about one of the famous lines is 100 years later, the Negro is still basically in anguish, right? There are a lot of issues that are going on in the black community, and the anthem protest points to it, but then, you know, people also are trying to use it to hurt our position, you know?
Right. So now,
when you were talking, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, because I'm about to connect the folktale into this. We about to get deep in this shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of the things that I like with the folktale, right? You were talking about the virtue, and now you have certain people standing up and saying some of these things aren't acceptable. You see this echo throughout society right now from different movements. You know, Me Too movement, for example. That's a hot topic. People are talking about R. Kelly, but it also kind of relates to this. There are a lot of different things happening right now. A lot of change that is, you know, that people are fighting against. You know, you see this throughout history, right?
Right.
And this is another one of those moments. We can definitely use the momentum from things like the NFL protest if we truly get behind it, right? Colin Kaepernick, that Nike ad that people were up in flames about, but the fact it said sacrifice or be willing to sacrifice. I'm sorry, let me get the words right real quick. Y'all know what ad I'm talking about, right?
Right. And because I could tell you from my angle, with a lot of people in my community angle, what their problem with that whole commercial was. Although the words were good. Now, because Colin Kaepernick, the whole issue that we start noticing is that anything that have to do with us, as far as black people, descendants of slaves, for lack of a better term.
Yes, sir.
The issues for us always end up being watered down. Colin Kaepernick first took a knee for black men being murdered, and there is no accountability. Motherfuckers getting off on vacation. When we look at what he what he initially started talking about, okay, and when you look at the Nike commercial, you listen to the words, but then you look at the pictures, is none of that. You know what I'm saying? Not one of the individuals that initially gave him the spark to take a knee were even addressed in the commercial. So you have a lot of people that see that, because it's like we move from black people, like for example, even with this whole piece with this girl that's running for president. What's her name?
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Camila, right? Kamala, the Indian, Jamaican, Canadian woman that's running for president. And people got to understand that they wash us out with people of color, because what happens is when we start dealing with people of color,
Obama little sister.
Oh yeah, basically, but they wash us out, and we have to really start watching out for that, because what happens is that our struggle is, in a sense, overtaken, and everybody is thrown in there. When we have a specific issue with the United States of America as DOS here, you know what I'm saying, as descendants of slaves, and the problem for a lot of people that was watching the commercial and that was seeing what's going on was we're seeing that once again, something that was started by us has been co-opted, and eventually what's going to happen is that none of the benefits are ever going to be able to touch us. Because, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, because the original sin of America, well, the second original sin, other than coming in and murdering motherfuckers, that's the first one, the red man. But then the second original sin of when we became America, the first original sin of America, not of the colonies, not of Europe, but the first original sin of the United States of America is slavery. And nobody ever wants to deal with that. No one ever wants to have that discussion. And any of the cocks that get up and crow about that shit are kidnapped and killed.
They are.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's the same thing that happened even with, you know what I'm saying, with Cap. The fact that he still does not have a job. And even Eric Reed was one of the people originally kneeling with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cut their head, kill the leader, right? If you get the leader to get the people behind them, they don't want that.
Oh, no. I mean, and I'm not mad at the strategy. Because if the strategy works, you should use it to the fullness of your capabilities. But what we have to add now, because another piece about Cap might be making more money now than he was making when he was playing football. He don't need a job now. You know what I'm saying? Because of because in a sense, it's like, we got to understand, like, I can satisfy you by paying you off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, we ain't heard too much more. I mean, and like Kwesi says, there's so much fuckery going on that we have to be aware. We got these thieves. I mean, back to the folktale. We got these thieves running around stealing shit. And we are not even aware of it because, you know why? We're asleep. Because they got the cock. You know what I'm saying? They got the cock that grows. Sosa's mom, good evening to you. And the ad, Brother Kwame, the ad that we're talking about is the ad that Nike did that said, I mean, and it was a brilliant move because for a lot of people was like, I'm not gonna watch NFL football because because of Cap. And then all of a sudden Nike threw out this commercial with Cap in it and shit, and next thing you know, everybody got satisfied. Or a lot of people got satisfied and went right back to the bread and the circus. Well, actually, it ain't even the bread yet. We just at the circus right now. We're able to
bread and circus. I said blood and circus. I knew that.
Right, it's the bread, but it's the blood. It's still understandable because you give the people blood. You give people a place where they can release some of that anger that they will be unleashing upon those that are oppressing them. You know what I'm saying? I release the same energy watching combat that I do in releasing combat. This is why I can't sit down and watch football or even sometimes watch some fights and shit, because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because I understand that my energy I'm releasing some shit that I might need to be able to use to protect myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's, I have to be very selective. Yep, Kamala Harris, and we got to be clear about that, because what's going on is now, if you look at it, she's trying to wear the cloak of a DOS, or descendant of slave, and we got to be very, very careful about that shit. We have to be very careful about that shit, because we have a specific claim, and we can't allow people to come and water down our shit. Just because you got melanin does not mean that you belong with us. And if you have not shown any loyalty to us, you are not even an ally. So you don't deserve our support. And we got to ask the question of every politician, because I remember when there's a scene with Barack Obama, and they asked him about reparations. And I know a lot of my listeners are going to get upset because, we got Barack Obama supporters. But when they asked Barack Obama about reparations, his answer was unsatisfactory. But the white boy from Ohio who was running for president during that time stood up and said, black people deserve reparations. So we got a man who's supposed to understand our struggle to say, well, we already got reparations. Our education, I believe, is but then you got a white man come out straight and say, hey, they deserve reparations, because when you look, there's no way that you could look at what the fuck is going on in America, especially with black folks, and not understand that reparations need to be paid, and not have the wisdom to understand that when you start investing in the black folks in America to make things better, we automatically as a country is going to rise up. Nobody's having that discussion. Nobody.
Therein lies the problem. For me, it's like, okay, so this stuff is on the table. all of these things is on the table. It's a moment where, wealth disparities are so astronomical. We getting killed. Maybe killing each other. Maybe it's some conspiracy motherfuckers running around through the hood shooting us. You know what I mean? Who knows? Like, but bodies is dropping like flies. Babies ain't infant mortality is a thing. We dropping out of high school. All of these things is going on, but like black people spent $42 million in one day. So Tico, man, actually this is where I kind of got to hold your feet to the fire. I was just reading the conversation that we have and I just lost it. Let me see if I can find it again, because it was a David Banner video that I had posted up there, and where'd it go? Let me see if I can find it. I posted the David Banner video, and he was talking about the $42 million that black people spent on Nikes, like the day within 2 days of that ad, and he was talking about how Colin Kaepernick's message didn't even get uplifted. And then so Colin, you was one of the, I think you was actually the first comment, and you said that we might as well just enjoy football and Nikes because if it makes us happy, and that was kind of the main thing, is that if it makes us happy. But I'm thinking, like, my thought was that it's a momentary happiness, and at what cost? You know what I mean? I think that it's kind of like I don't know. So yeah, what's your thoughts about that, man? How do you honestly think that it's a fair trade-off, that just kind of just forget about it and to just watch the football and to just buy the Nikes and to just sweep it under the rug? Or, because I'm under the impression that there's not even, I'm not saying that necessarily boycotting or not buying shoes is necessarily the answer, but at the same time, I think that something needs to be done, So what's your thoughts?
I absolutely think that something needs to be done. And like I said yesterday, that was low-key a comment in frustration, right? It was low-key a joke as well. But last year, right, I'm an educator, and I definitely, when you read people, W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington and Marcus Garvey, people like that, right? One of the things that they stress is education. While something absolutely needs to be done about police brutality, about income disparity, about education, right? All in our community. These are all things that affect our community. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. What happens if and there are different platforms for different people. I am a person who does support Obama. That doesn't necessarily mean that I loved everything he's ever did or said, but one of the things that provided for me, I'm a father, I have a wife, I have 2 girls. To me, he provided hope, right? I see a guy with a family that looks exactly like mine at the very top level of society. Whether he's getting everything done or not done, you know what I mean? That's a whole different debate, right? But I'm going somewhere with this. I just want you to just hear me out for a quick second. We need to fight multiple strategies if we are going to solve some of these problems, right? You need a figurehead, somebody at the top, to give people hope. You also need that same guy to try to put in input. Talk about reparations. I absolutely 100% agree that we should get something, man. The atrocities by this country, the people of color, it's crazy, between like the Native Americans and some of the oppression that still continues today, through the black struggle, through even women's rights, right? If you want to lump some of that
Hold on now.
Imagine being a black woman, right?
Now, hold on. Huh? I'm going to stress this, and I got to stress this.
Oh.
The whole people color piece, address us.
Uh-huh.
See, because this is what people do. The whole people know. See, because it's like this. Women's right is black first. For me, it's black first, because if we don't look at it like that, we'll wash it out with everything else, because everybody got possibly a claim. As a people, we need our specific claim addressed. As black men, as black women, when we say black, We all fit up under that because you can't be black just one. We all fit up under that shit. And what happens is we wash that shit out with everybody else's struggles. Native Americans are fighting for their shit. Believe that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hispanics and Latinos are fighting for their shit. Believe that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We are the only ones that's conceding and giving up our space and say, hey, come on, there's enough room for all of us. Come on, there's enough resources. No, we need to address it directly as us. People who have been directly affected, because what a lot of people don't understand, in order for capitalism to exist, you have to have individuals that are on the bottom. And what America has been using us for is basically the cannon fodder, the building blocks of wealth. And that is part of our claim. We can no longer allow that to happen, and we can no longer allow people that are not truly our allies, right? Truly friends of what we're doing to benefit from that. Because when you say women and you put women in there, what start to happen is you're going to start having white women who going to have the complaints and say, hey, we've been oppressed just like y'all. No, you haven't. You was married to the motherfucker that was raping some of us. You was married to the motherfucker that was selling some of us. How is it? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I could just tagged you in a post in this thread. So it's this guy. He lives in Atlanta right now. His name is Malik Rassan. I met him in D.C. some years back when I was doing organizing, and he was actually on the ground in Ferguson. This is one of the realest dudes I know, man. This motherfucker is crazy. He will say he speaks to power in an unrelenting voice, and he got a pretty significant platform as well, but he speaks to power in a way that I don't see a lot of people, in a very fearless way, and I really got a lot of respect for dude. So he posted something about white women trying to hijack the movement.
Oh, man.
Check this post out. I just tagged you in it, man. It's Tico. It's dope. I can tag you in it too. I think you want to check it out because it's really funny, man. All of these white women was coming at his neck, and he was like, so because they like that's so real, man. Like they be trying to steal our momentum. They'll say it's a women's issue,
right?
And then trying to recruit black women to fight on behalf of white women's shit, but then won't come into the hood with it. No. You see what I'm saying? Like they steal all of our momentum, and everybody's doing that shit, and black people do get left behind. And just so I like to create. I want to also create the scene, so I don't want you to feel like we just coming at like we kind of both got a perspective that we coming at you on. Because one of the fundamental areas where me and Hatem don't necessarily see eye to eye is I'm beginning to think more along the lines of me having ethnicity that's connected to this land, and I am certain that I have African heritage as well. So I think that the conversation is more. I think that flushing that out and figuring out the history, because I also think that it's important when it comes down to reparations and asking for it, how we asking for it, because I think these motherfuckers are sneaky and they might try to weasel out of that shit any way that they can and say, actually, historically, y'all not from Africa, y'all from here, the majority of y'all from here, or I just don't know. I got a lot of questions. So that's it. But what I do know is that my family, my lineage was exploited and my labor built this country. I'm not exactly sure where my DNA comes from directly, but I do know that my DNA was exploited in a way that nobody else experienced exploitation. You see what I'm saying? And
that's where
absolutely. Everybody is trying to, and we wherever the fuck we come from, everybody is trying to steal our momentum, and we gotta be more critical about keeping our shit. You know what I'm saying? So then going all the way back to the NFL
and the folktale. Go ahead.
Right.
See, because because Quasi, all I'm saying is we don't have to agree on where the fuck we come from. What we have to agree is that we have a common struggle. Your grandfather, your great grandfather, and my great grandfather had similar issues that were put in place by the federal government to stop them. You know what I'm saying? From being able to do some of the shit that and stack the wealth to pass down to us. Period. That,
in a way that Latin Americans didn't.
No, exactly.
In a way that white women definitely fucking don't.
Exactly.
In a way that immigrants don't. So that's the thing about that Kamala and even Obama. If reparations was to be handed out, Obama does not qualify.
He don't.
Maybe Michelle do, and maybe their kids do, but Obama don't. Michelle his dad is from Kenya, and his mom is from goddamn.
There you go.
Hawaii, but she's white.
See, that's what we have to see, and that's what we have to flush out. And that piece right there will solve a lot of the issues. See, because whatever trick they pull out, right? Whatever trick, because you already know they're not going to want to pay, and the people are going to have to demand them paying. So it's going to take us being able to have true allies to push something through. You know what I'm saying? Because right now,
that's all I'm getting at, though.
Oh, go ahead.
And that's all. That was the only point that I was trying to make in drawing the parallels. I'm not trying to take away from the black plight at all, because, for example, my grandmother turned 72 yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. 72. That means she was born in 1947. She couldn't sit in the front of the bus. She couldn't drink out of the same water fountain, right? And people act like this is so distant, right? This still has a lasting effect. Like you said, we've been targeted to a point where we haven't even had an opportunity to stack wealth. A girl I went to high school with, white female, her grandfather died and left her a farm up near Toledo, right? Mm-hmm. So that absolutely plays a part. But all I was trying to get at is, say, whether it is an Obama or a Kaepernick who did get paid from the system, let's invest that money back into the system. That's where I was getting at with even the boycotting of the NFL. Yes, but at the same time, why not have some of these athletes, which a lot of them do, and that gets diluted a lot and lost in the conversation, that they are pouring back into the communities, right? Different events, and we need more of that, right? If we invest those dollars back and we help people that look like us get to positions of power, then we can start getting money and investing, right? I changed my whole career to be a teacher so that I could give and invest into young black men, right? I don't teach in the suburbs. I teach in the inner city where we are, so that, because I do believe is that mindset. If we can grasp some of this power and make some of the right moves. And that was all I was getting at yesterday, Quasi, even in that post, is that if we're simply boycotting the NFL and sitting at home, right, on a Sunday, normally I go down to, the bar, or, I order an NFL ticket and I throw a big party at my house, and I'm not doing that, right? That's a little bit of dollars, but even back to the fable, right? They can take the cop, right? They can take it away so that you stay asleep, and they can find ways around that, so that ultimately you go back to sleep and you don't realize, and then, like you said, it loses momentum and people are watching games and different things again. But say that same player takes his check, comes back. He's from Columbus, that's where we are, and there's a lot of schools that need improvement. A lot of people who could benefit from jobs that the money that he's getting might be able to bring in.
Now, this is part. See, because now this is where it's gonna get crazy. Y'all gonna get mad at me. Schools, no, really, schools and shit like that are government functions. Every time me and you go buy, when I go buy a Black and Mild, which I don't need to be buying, or I buy a beer, or I go out and buy some goddamn clothes, they're extracting taxes from me. When I go buy gas, they're extracting taxes from me. You know what I'm saying? Schooling is a government responsibility. That's something that government has picked up and government needs to do. LeBron's income is limited. As much as we think he got, his income is limited, and it's based on how long his career go. And on top of that, how well his investments go. And we know how that shit work out for black entertainers and black athletes. Now, he's doing a great work, but he's doing the work of government. And we already are paying into government. But I like your strategy, see, because Quasi, one of the issues is that he's on the long-term game. See, because like this is why I keep on saying We're working with young people, so we have an opportunity to look at shit a little bit different than a lot of people, because it's like, look, when I'm talking to my kids, as bad as they could be, listen, y'all see that right now we have a school, right? And that y'all don't understand this right now, but when me and such and such started, we used to have to go to a small building. Now we got a building that's a quarter mile around. Now your job is to top us. That means that a few of y'all gonna need to be on city council. A few of y'all gonna need to be the chief of police and in charge of safety services. One of y'all gonna have to be mayor. Even one of y'all might have to run for the governor of the state. So we already in the long game. This is the piece that we need to be playing and pushing up, is training our young people, not just young men, but training our young people to understand who they are, where they are, when they are, and start handing them the keys of responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So let me read some of these comments, because we got them, and somebody just came on the line. But hold on. Black folks need to become much more pragmatic and analytical about what politicians say and what they do and the impact of their actions. Most importantly, how it impacts us culturally, economically, and politically. I totally 100% agree. That's from Miss CeeLo. She also says we need to work to networking and reach these athletes and millionaires and get the dollars to invest in building our institutions, which I agree to a certain extent, but I want to make sure that those institutions are handling the business that the institutions are supposed to handle and not take the place of government, because government, especially for us that maintain jobs, is taking 40% of our motherfucking income, and they need to give us the services to accommodate the amount of money that they taking. So we have to be sure to put our young people and put ourselves in place to shake these motherfuckers down like everybody else do. Let me
say real quick, man. I want to go back to the fable, man, because I was talking to my cousin earlier that did the radio show with us the other day at the cigar shop, and he challenged me to offer more solutions of what we could do. And so I want to go back to the fable and tie it all in with the fable, because I think really ultimately the first and foremost thing we need to do is share information and make parallels and allow people to see how the wool is being pulled over their eyes. So to kind of make a parallel with the story, let's imagine that Martin Luther King and the Malcolm X's and the Chairman Freddie, Nelson Mandela, are all them people. Let's say that they're the cops. Was that Sister Ross?
Yeah, that's Lady J. She on.
My voice recognition be popping, man. Get out of here. What? But anyway, so let's imagine that. So those people are the cops that they killed, that they wanted to silence because they knew that those people would wake the voice up. What happened is, what people really need to understand is that they killed the cop and replaced that motherfucker with a turkey. Obama is a fucking turkey. Period. Point blank. Fuck Obama. I'm telling. We need to say fuck Obama. Like, not he was kind of cool. Not he was nice. He was black. Fuck Obama. Obama was a fucking turkey on purpose. Obama was planted in the hood. Obama was a fucking turkey. Obama was a fucking turkey.
Wait,
He's not
stop.
Not speaking for the people. Obama was a turkey.
No.
Stop. Hold on. So you saying they took the cock out of the community, killed the cock, and brought back a turkey, and everybody believed that turkey is a rooster. Is that what you saying?
And they want to put him in the picture. They want to put these two people. They want to put this man that gave his life for the movement next to this motherfucker that's in the Bahamas chilling right now.
Can I please
chilling somewhere. He don't give a fuck about none of this shit. He will leave and be gone and never come back. If this place goes up in smoke, he is not going to get blew up.
Can I interject, please?
You better go ahead. You already know how we do it on the journey, baby. You better get your words in, and you better make them strong.
Who is this?
That's Quasi. You know who that is. Stop playing.
Okay. So Quasi, this is my thing. When we know how politics work, if you know how politics work, you didn't have any unreasonable expectations of Obama anyway. Because one thing which you were just saying, Hatem, that we know we need to do is and I was just talking to my people about this. We need money. The same lobbyists who lobby for these presidents, or these candidates, who help pay for their campaigns, help them raise money, put them in office. Those are the people they pay back favors. So when you know politics and you know that is just many tricks, you know that there's no unreasonable expectation. However, what I will say is that, again, they'll give us something, and it was by design. You're absolutely right. Obama was groomed. It was by design. They knew the first time they put him in office, they wanted to give us this idea that they wanted to present this idea as if our country had healed and we were over racism. And then the next time they put them in office, they wanted to divide. They wanted to cause a race war, which is essentially what they did. It was by design. However, just like they gave us this social media and we use it to hang ourselves. We don't use it to promote the positive images, the messages. We don't use it to create the tools that we need to fight this war. The same way we don't use that is the same way we didn't use Obama.
That's good.
At the end of the day, Obama gave people and it wasn't no false sense of hope. It was hope for our children. They needed to see it. They needed to see themselves there.
But
Lady J,
and that's the
only thing.
Oh, that's Lady J. I thought that was Lady J. I couldn't believe it because you came on to agree with little old me. Oh man, I felt so special.
Yeah, but we can't. There was no. If we know the game, we can't. We won't be fooled. I was bothered. This is what bothered me about Obama's election. Never in history were we supposed to campaign. Never in history were we supposed to go to the polls in the manner in which we did. That never happened. You didn't go with no Obama shirt. Throughout history, we turned our shirts inside out when we went to vote. That never happened. So that was, for one, that wasn't even voting etiquette. That was the first thing. The second thing is I heard black people get all on the radio station and say out of their mouths that when they went to the polls, the only thing they did was vote for Obama. That was the second mistake. How do you go and you vote for a president, but you don't vote for your local official? And then you wonder why things occurred the way that they did. No. We can't. We have to be political thinkers. We can't just get out here and just think we doing something.
Lady J,
and that's what happened.
Lady J, Lady J.
Yes.
That's what's happened. I mean, that's why we're having this conversation, because now, please understand what he's saying, right? Because now, hope is a double-edged sword. It can bring you life or it can bring you death. See,
thank you.
And that's that. And I think that's all. I think that's all the people who come at Obama's neck is trying to say, because we have to really truly evaluate. What place? Wait. Can I finish? Hey, you better let me finish. Listen, God damn it, can I finish my thought? We have to be critical, because you said it yourself. As political thinkers, we have to be critical of the role that everybody play, even if they have melanin in their skin, because many of us have been betrayed as a people by people that look just like us. Now, you can have your vision of Obama, but understand it, but a lot of people that's going to be coming into the journey is coming in with an anger, because in that last 4 years, when he could have made a lot of change, because there was no chance of him being reelected, he didn't.
How do you make the change?
Hold on
Tell
now.
me, how do you make the change?
Well, listen. What you worried about is the victory, right? What people, because now, just like he gave us hope that racism was over and shit like that, he gave motherfuckers hope if he would have put something on the books for black folks and had those white folks. Hold on, time out.
No, when black people did not go in and vote.
Listen, Lady J, I'm president. God damn it.
Okay.
I'm president.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Dude,
if I'm if I'm president,
you don't get to just do what you want.
Lady J, listen to me.
Agreed.
Lady J, I'm gonna say this: if I'm the president and I see that there has been a wrong made, even if the Congress go against me, I can at least put some legislation in. Or talk to some people to get some legislation.
Did he not put legislation in?
Wait, Lady J, wait. Now see, there you go. You're going to try to get louder than me. You can't do it. You can't get louder than me. You can't do it. Listen, what? You said what? He did. He did what?
Y'all don't give,
what? What'd he do?
So right now,
where your reparations?
Right now in Columbus.
Wait, where your reparations at?
Right now in Columbus City.
Where your reparations?
Right now in Columbus City.
Where's the thing to correct anything that happened from slavery?
Can I say it? Speaker, girl, you was too.
Can I say it?
Go ahead, say it. Go ahead.
Right now in Columbus City schools, they just passed legislation. It came down. You are not. They're about to do away with suspending children. Period. Why is that? Who started that investigation?
Now,
who determined that? Who began to shed
light? And I want you to understand. And you being a teacher should understand the impact of that.
You gonna let me finish? You gonna let me finish?
You being a teacher should understand the impact of that.
School to prison pipeline. Who put it into legislation?
Listen. That's gonna. As an educator, should know the impact of that on the classroom.
See, what did you mean?
I'm just saying. You saying now? Hold on. I done had people that you done came to me and said I needed to suspend.
You want to know what just happened?
Go ahead.
I'm about to leave the classroom. I'm not going to be a teacher no more. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to travel around the schools and I'm going to teach their teachers how to manage behaviors in the classroom so that they can teach these kids instead of kicking them out for dumb shit. I seen them. You remember our kid with no legs? This is true story, Quasi, right? We got a kid that ain't got no legs, right? And he goes to my school. This kid's classroom is on the 3rd floor. So when he goes from the 3rd floor...
Is there an elevator or escalator?
No.
I know you tell me I got an escalator. No.
Hell no. There's no elevator. So the kid got to travel from the 3rd floor to the 1st floor several times throughout the day, right? For lunch, you got to come down, and for your at the end of the day, for your extracurricular classes, whatever they is, right? Your encore classes. He got to travel downstairs. I kid you not. A teacher wrote him up because she got tired of telling him not to sit his books inside of a locker on his way down. Why did he need to sit his books? Because A, he didn't need them for gym. B, he needed both his hands to hold on to the rail to come down the damn steps. Do you know how offended I was that this woman walked into this office with this kid? I'm on 10. Matter of fact, I'm on 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now, this kid is a complete jerk. But I would be too, especially if I'm being written up because I need both of my hands. This heifer didn't even ask him, can I carry your books down the steps for you? Is there something I could do?
Was that a white teacher?
Yes.
Yes. Was it? Do
yes.
you need to even ask?
Yes.
Do you need to even ask?
We know that.
So let's go back to this.
And that speaks again to my point. We need, like you're saying, we need people in positions of power. That would have never happened.
Guess what? No. It didn't go anywhere because my principal is black. Just like my president was black, my principal is black. So it didn't go anywhere.
President might have
the
not
woman
been black.
came in there talking about what she was going to do, but none of that mattered. She wrote that up and they tore it up. It went nowhere.
Exactly.
She had the audacity. She had the audacity.
I want to pivot.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to travel around and I'm going to help these teachers figure out how to manage behavior so they can teach kids instead of wanting to kick them out and get rid of them because they're afraid of them, because they fear them, right? Because they don't want to tolerate them, because they don't want to teach the whole child, because they don't want the kids to know them. Man,
there you go. This is why I be throwing this. This is why I be throwing that flag on you, girl. This is why I be throwing that flag on you. You get all hot and bothered.
They gonna go to the suburbs now. Ain't gonna be no 20% off your loan every year because you ain't gonna be able to stand this. Forge you in the fire.
Yeah, but now
let me pivot a little bit. I want to do kind of a low-key dramatic pivot back to the NFL thing. Because, okay, so I'm going to see if I can tie this in. Because this is a pretty big concept that I'm working on right now. Because I'm thinking about how emotionally we're being manipulated. We're being emotionally blackmailed. And sports is like the number one way that they are emotionally blackmailing us. So, okay, I'm gonna go way back. I'm going to go back to 2001. To when, okay, in 2000 on back, the Patriots sucked. The Patriots was the laughing stock of the NFL for as long as the Patriots was the Patriots. But in the 2001, they got Tom Brady's weak ass. Well, people like fuck Tom Brady. But anyways, they got Tom Brady, and they won their first Super Bowl. What happened that year? In 2001, 9/11 happened.
Right.
Then that same season, 6 months later, the fucking Patriots won the Super Bowl, a team that historically was the laughing stock of the NFL. Okay. So then, 2005, Katrina happened. Who wins the Super Bowl? The New Orleans Saints. So then, okay, what is this about? Maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago, Super Bowl 50, the same year as the 50th anniversary, the Black Panthers played Behold the Pale White Horse with the Great White Hope, what's his fucking name? Peyton Manning versus the up-and-coming young Black Panther, Cam Newton. Does this not offend you? So this year, at the end of Tom Brady, we all know this is it for Tom Brady. This is it for Tom Brady. The fucking Rams are playing the Patriots again. The Rams are the team that the Patriots beat the first time. This time the Rams are in L.A. I don't know the significance of that shit yet. I haven't thought it through enough. But the Patriots are back. So to me, okay, so what happened the last time? Now I may be reaching. But what happened the last time, or the first time, I should say, that the Patriots won the Super Bowl and Tom Brady played the Rams? A war started right after that shit. People with all of this conflict, all of this shit going on, people all wrapped up in this football, people was being emotionally manipulated. And the patriotism was at an all-time high. How are you feeling right now? Trump, patriotism, all-time high again. And the Patriots are going back to the Super Bowl against the Rams, who fucking who cheated. Or they didn't necessarily personally cheat, but I didn't even see the game. I saw the highlight. That was pass. If that wasn't pass interference, did everybody see that?
Nah.
I saw it.
You can't just fucking tackle somebody. This motherfucker running down the field about to catch the ball, and they just blasted him. Like, blatantly just blasted dude. Am I tripping, Tico?
I mean, it happened.
To the point to where it's so bad that they talking about having a rematch. Like, I ain't never even heard that shit even discussed. You got 500,000 signatures for a rematch in a day. Like, I have never heard no shit like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, that shit offends me. So, and then I haven't even really had a chance to think much about the other games. So then I'm thinking about, back to the emotional blackmail piece, I was thinking, I had a situation a couple days ago where I gotta talk about this delicately, bro. There was a situation where I had somebody said something to me in a way that made me feel the way, but it was like somebody that I respect, and in that situation I had to kind of hold my emotions in, but I also had to let them know somehow. So I made a face to let that person know, like, yo, you just emotionally I had an emotional experience, and it was a woman. You know what I'm saying? So I like going in on men. But when it comes to women, I'll go in a little bit just to kind of make the point. But like with a man, like we can bump into each other's hands.
Who is it speaking?
This is Quasi. Quasi.
Oh, come on, now, stop. I know what you're getting at. You know exactly what you're saying. Time you did that today.
Hey, Quasi, he don't go in on women. He go in on women a lot of things.
I didn't go in on you that day, though. You got a lot of
stuff. Lady J, listen.
We over it. It's okay, Quasi.
Lady J, he was very nice.
A lot of it.
No, he was
a lot of it.
Listen to me. You have to call in when we have men on the line. Quasi goes in on the motherfucker for real.
That has nothing to do with me.
Nah, but yes it does, because you saying he meant. Nah, he was actually nice with you. See, because because it's like
my thing was that when people send out that emotions, man, when people send out that emotional energy is oftentimes that extra boost you need to get something done. Like, okay, so y'all talking about this. He compared Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. They really had a very similar skill set. They was both at the very similar level. What set Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen apart was Michael Jordan to punch you in the fucking face, literally. You see what I'm saying? Scottie Pippen was kind of a pussy. You know what I mean? So what made Scottie Pippen great was that he got to play with Jordan. Emotion is that thing that sets you apart, but it could also be that thing that gets you messed up. So we not really taking and in this society we overvalue logic and we undervalue emotions. But emotions, how Tim, you was the one that told me the first time that emotions make a terrible leader but a great follower. Yeah. So we not even taking into consideration how these emotions are driving what we doing, and all these events are taking place over top of us, and they making us feel ways. We out here getting in fights and shit. Slapping on people, arguing and yelling and getting fired from jobs and all this crazy shit because emotions. We don't even know where our emotional stimulation is coming from, and you know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, and now back to, because I don't want, because Lady J get all emotional on me and shit. I'm emotional too. I'm a Pisces, but you go to the end of that legislation that you was screaming about, yelling at me about, was not particular to us. And that's all I'm saying.
Why is it not particular to us?
It's not particular to us.
What do you mean it's not particular to us? Are you crazy?
It's not.
Are you crazy?
It's not.
When they pulled the statistics, it said little black boys. They looked at the.
Listen, I have a black community. I have a black community that if we was to take care of other issues, we wouldn't be having issues with little black boys in class.
Let me tell you this.
So he took care of the classroom, but he didn't take care of the room that child lives in.
I don't even like. Let me tell you what. I don't like talking about Obama with black people because I see what happens at my school. I introduced this thing in our town hall where we do a news update every day, right? So my social studies teacher, he provides the news update, and guess what? You think he anti-Trump or pro-Trump?
Don't even matter. But go ahead.
He's anti-Trump, right? This white man. So I had to go to this white man and plead with him to stop talking about Trump because it was causing the white women in the room to turn purple and lose their oxygen, right? They're about ready to die. Even the gay woman, I couldn't believe it. Right? I'm watching these women. They're going to take me downtown because they're going to say I conspired to kill these white women. Because every time this white man talks about Trump, these bitches get so mad. Right? So I had to go to him and I said, can you do me a favor? Can you find any type of news? Any type of news. Can you just lay off Trump? He said, well, Ross, that's the big news. And da-da-da-da-da-da. I said, listen, whatever you do, just give that man a break for a couple days. But this is the thing. That man can do anything. Anything. And even this man, he said, Ross, I'm not being biased, I'm just reporting the news. Which is true. He don't never say, but clearly the fact that he keeps talking about it lets me know it's biased. Right? But they won't speak up against this man. Right? You just had a whole incident. Did you see them white kids in D.C.? With that Native American, would they make America great, sweatshirts and hats and everything, right? White people are not going to, even though that this man has shut down the government, this man is causing people not to be paid, this man is doing things that not only affect, that's affecting everyone, because people act like they forget that black people are not the only poor people. Right? Depending on where you live and where you go, where you travel, you could have more poor white people in a certain area than you have blacks, right? And that's since slavery ended. We know that throughout history there have been people, we know about these poor white people, right? These crackers that was working on plantations, we know about them. We do know about them, right? It's something.
But Lady J,
I didn't have any unreasonable expectations of this man.
Lady
I'm
J,
just gonna say that.
Lady J.
So it is what it is.
See, now,
it is what it is.
This is where how Tim train and Lady J's train collide. See, at this point in time in my life, I can't give a fuck about everybody else. I'm concerned about us.
I say that all the time. You just borrowing my words, but that's okay.
I'm just saying.
I say that all the time.
I
feel some type of way. We the best at that game.
What?
We the best at that game. We do so well tearing each other down. I just want to applaud y'all.
You want to who?
I'm sorry, Mel.
Well, hold on now, Quasi. Now hold on. Quasi didn't. Nobody tore down. How can I put it? Us. Now that's not tearing us down. That's putting a critical question on the board.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
This is a real question. So that money that they be giving out my brother's keeper, that don't have nothing to do with Obama?
Stop. Now, wait. Now, hold on. Because I'm going to smash your ass with that. Do you sure you want to go to my brother's keeper? I don't think you want to fuck with me. Okay, cool. Now, cool. Let's look at how much federal money is invested in my brother's keeper. Because now, hopefully, this will shut you up since you want to go there. How much federal money is involved? No, I'm going to answer the question. Now, I'm answering the question with a question. How much federal money did Obama put with my brother's keeper? And I could tell you. You won't be able to tell me because you're going to come with some bullshit because you don't really know. This is what I'm saying. Hold on. Stop. He gave you hope. He gave the gay community money. He gave the Hispanic community money. He gave you hope. So I hope you're satisfied with it because that's all you're going to get. That's some bullshit.
And you know
that's some bullshit. He know, and that's our problem. That's our problem because we get satisfied. We get satisfied with motherfuckers giving us symbols. Give me actual money. He never put any money behind my brother's keeper. Don't come at me with that shit. How dare you? That's private. That's private funders. No, you asked me, and I know what he do. What he do? He could have put federal money behind that. That's some bullshit. And you about to get cut off in here on that bullshit. That's some bullshit.
Do you know
he stopped black kids from getting expelled from a school, from getting suspended from a school. He stopped black kids from getting from.
I can't hear neither one of y'all.
I'm sorry.
Do you know why white teachers come teach in the public schools, in the inner city schools?
Lady J, at this point, I'm sweating. Why? I don't even give a damn. I really don't even give a damn.
Do you know why? It's because if they teach 5 years in the inner city, they're going to be every year their loan is going to be forgiven 20%. So I heard a white woman say out of her mouth in front of me, and I could not believe she was that bold, that is exactly what she couldn't wait on. She couldn't wait on those years to be up.
See, Lady J, why you still talking?
Because of this legislation, teachers are going to stop coming to the inner city to teach because they're going to find out that they don't have an option but to teach those children that they don't want to teach. Because they're not going to be able to suspend and put those children out of school, which has been the practice.
Exactly.
And so I am very pleased at what's going on. And I wish more black people
all you expect from your president.
Right, and that again speaks to my point. We need black people to do some of these things, right? We need action and boots on the ground. Obama's not the silver bullet that's going to fix everything.
Exactly.
You need people on the ground. And that's again where we
need money so we can lobby our own politicians, so we can start putting money and lace in their pockets like these white folks do, and which gets their policies on the books.
Lady J, you can't put money in people's pockets with hope. Listen, hey girl, I'm about to, Lady J, hold your breath for a second. Because I'm going to say this. You can't put money in people's pocket with hope. You just told me that you satisfied with the hope that Obama gave us, but you cool with all the other shit that he gave to all these other communities. That really fucked me up, and I'm about to cut your ass off on that one. I can't take that.
I didn't give a fuck about Obama.
You say what?
Now, I didn't give a fuck about Obama from day one. I knew it was a fluke. I already knew what was coming down the pipeline. That's what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is I take what they give me and I turn it to work for me. I turn it to work for my children. I turn it to make it what I needed to be in order to empower, enlighten, and uplift. That's what I do.
If that's the case, if you truly believe that, how is it that when Quasi brought the shit up, then why didn't you just let that shit slide? If you really feel like no, but I mean, so you give me one legislation that covers all kids and none that covers us. Go with that universal bullshit. You want some universal bullshit? Stop talking to me about that bullshit.
Like we don't know how it works.
We got issues.
The man wasn't black people's president. He was everybody's president.
That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit.
I wasn't looking for this.
Reagan was white people's president. Wait, time out. Reagan was white people president. Hold on. No, you don't. No, you don't. Obviously, you don't know. Reagan was white people. Reagan was white people president. Hold on, time out. Reagan was a white man's president. Bush was a white man's president. You had supposedly a black president, and you expected absolutely nothing from them. Reagan gave white folks shit. Bush gave white people shit.
I didn't expect
your black president gave you nothing, and that's exactly why he didn't give you shit.
I sure didn't.
That's why he didn't give you shit. Stop.
I watched people hail President Clinton.
You man, listen. I'm about to. You gonna have to go. You got to go, Lady J. You about to go because you gonna be.
And I'm gonna tell you what else black people do with their ignorant selves. They hail Kennedy.
All right, Shaka, you on the line, brother. You got something you want to say? Anybody else on the line?
I am. Yeah, I am.
Cause I'm just
what happened? She hung up?
No, I put on. I'm cutting motherfuckers off. I can't do this no more.
I had to pull it out my ear because it was too much, man. It's like it was.
I can't do it no more. I can't do that shit no more. I'm sorry, family. I can't do it no more. This whole illusional bullshit where it's okay for us to get dreams and dust. I'm not on that. Shadows and dust. That's what we get, and we okay with that shit. And we find ways to justify that. Don't call my motherfucking show if you satisfied with dust and reflections, with shadows and shit. We got kids actually out here dying. And we know that we got to infiltrate these motherfucking schools, not so that we can educate our kids into what they talking about, so that we can get them some real information. That shit is not real.
I think it's ironic that Lady J, because she do, man, like the more I listen to her, she says a lot of stuff that I really value, man, but it's similar to how the presentation is. I'm trying to figure out how to fit it into the scheme of what we need to uplift and what we need to work on. Like it's you know what I mean? Because I think so much value there, but it has to fit. It has to be a working part. And if it's kind of chaotic, and if it's, you know what I mean?
Her shit is not even chaotic.
If it's opposed to just a flow, it has a flow. Things have to kind of flow, and I think we need to relax in a fit. Like, I'm dope as fuck, and I got a dope ass squad, so I really ain't even tripping. I'm just like, let's just make these moves out here. You know what I'm saying? That's all we really gotta do is make these moves.
Right, and just tying it all the way back again, that's the solo point that I was trying to make. We need people to make moves day in and day out. We need to uplift each other. We need to support our businesses. We need to do all of these things to put us in a better position, because they're not going to give it to us.
At all.
At all. You have to take some of these things. You have to infiltrate the system. You know what I mean? To a certain, you know, if I can get in a big house, right, with all the money,
I can start throwing some out the window to everybody else, and then everybody has a little something in their pocket. But if I can't even get in the house, then I'm stuck. We all stuck. We all got our hands out.
Listen, my issue is hands out, and I had this conversation just a couple of days ago. We look at it as hands out, but we pay 40% of our income to these motherfuckers. For any black politician from this point on, or even in the past, to have gotten to a position and gotten the house and not do shit for us. That's all I'm saying. We can't justify that shit.
He did detriment to the global us, man. He killed Gaddafi, man. That shit really making me sad. But the fact that Obama killed Gaddafi or had Gaddafi killed just says ultimately where his allegiance was, man, because Gaddafi was a threat to the dollar. Obama was a dollar stooge, man, and you know where I stand on the dollar.
But everybody that's going to be elected in this shit is going to be a dollar stooge. We got to understand that because the dollar...
You have to be. That's part of the game.
Right. The dollar allows your ass to go out and get gas for what we paying for it now. The dollar allows you to be able to have spending power when you travel to Brazil. So, in a sense, you need to be grateful that a motherfucker is a dollar stooge. Every country needs to be for their currency. America right now dominates the world, partly because motherfuckers have to use our currency to buy shit.
I had to think about it. Tim, I disagree with you, sir. I think my effort and my imagination got me to Brazil. The dollar was just that shit that I used to exchange. But if my imagination would have got me there without that shit. And tell me I won't.
No, listen, and I agree with you. I agree with you, but I believe you. Listen, I believe that you could walk there, but I believe that you wouldn't have the spending power. See, because the dollar is somebody else's imagination, and you know what I'm saying? Because the dollar is imagination, and it gives individuals the power to do what they do. The dollar, all that shit is illusionary when it comes down to it. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But hold on, let me do this real quick before, because, you know, it's getting late now. You know, I know we got school tomorrow. We got some comments. He never did care. Turkey, Christine Lowe, when we was talking about Obama, he never did care. This was her making a comment on what Kwesi was saying. He never did care. A turkey and a cock serves two different purposes. One wakes you up, the other puts you to sleep. That was good, CeeLo. Brother Kwame.
That's the fan.
Huh? Brother Kwame talking about Lady J, Minister of Information, is at work again. That's about Sister J. She real good at what she do, because she will argue her motherfucking point. Talking about the audacity of hope. And we got the hope politics and the respectability politics. We honestly believe we have to get rid of that shit. And I know a lot of people is going to feel funny about this, but we have to be able to walk in a room and motherfuckers start feeling uncomfortable. I honestly believe. We are not taught to think strategically, long-term, or analytically. All politics are local, and we should vote the entire ticket. That's Christine Lowe when she was responding to the call that Lady J was saying. You know, because, Lady J be on point. But once she get on her some shit, she like a pit bull. CeeLo says, my fault. We are not, okay. Christine Lowe, legislation for who? And that was the responding to my question, because he never did anything for us. So those women are aligning with the racial affiliation and what promotes that. That proves the race is the most important. Trump is white supremacist. That was during the conversation when we was talking with Lady J. Far as some other stuff, he could have repealed some of the criminal laws that we know that were set up against black men. He could have declared the killing of unarmed black men and women by the police a federal offense and dealt with them with the Attorney General. And then she had a request, and got exactly what she expected. Nothing. If we based on hope, not in that. Okay, so we got Then Lady J come on and say, I don't believe you cut me off. I'm about this life. Yes. Infiltrate the system. Lady J is wild, man. I love that woman.
Yo.
Is it downstream?
I just want to say, Tico, man, I appreciate you, bro. I do want to take a step back because I know I went hard on Obama, and it's not lost to me that you was uplifting him.
Right.
So I wanna say that the same thing that you value in, I value that in you. You know what I mean? Because you was going to
appreciate that, bro.
Regardless, I know your dad, I know your mom, I know your brothers. You know what I'm saying? I know what you come from, and you are that, regardless. But at the same time, I do understand that so for you, it wasn't false hope. It was more of a reiteration. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there's a lot of cats out here that saw that, and they was like, oh, job's done. You see what I'm saying? I think that you was going to do what you was going to do regardless of if he was, and I would even go as far as to say if it would have been, who was right here before him? George Bush? So if it would have been George Bush and then Donald Trump, that shit actually might have inspired you to even go harder. You see what I'm saying?
That's real.
You know what I mean?
Real.
So that hope, I think is
yes, you can,
be
Lady
a
J.
beautiful thing, but it can also be a setback.
Right. And I just want to say one last thing with regard to that. Then I got to kind of wrap up too. I got to get to school in the morning. The hope kind of inspired me. You take, like you were saying, it is something that has happened, right? Michael Brown got shot down. Kamir Rice. Eric Gardner, right? This is happening repeatedly. So it did inspire me. It inspired me to action. I have a nonprofit that I'm trying to get started. I'm helping young kids who are playing basketball, providing them, a black male leader, a role model, who has done some of these things, who has reached some of the places that they're trying to go, which ultimately is going to big up the community, right? Because now some of these black men could go in and hire and put other black people in position. I think it is strategical. We have to start not only at the top with the Obamas, right? And, his hands are tied. I don't know if you've ever been in a boardroom with just white people all around the table who are trying to see the cock so you can't wake up. It's a tough position to be in, right? So his hands are tied to a certain extent, no pun intended, right? Because literally they've tied black people to that, right? But it does come from being at the ground, having black doctors, having black nurses. I went to a white lady today, nurse, and I was like, why am I not at a black doctor? She don't care what happens to me, right? But it's about supporting our own. Get you a black tax person. If we're really going to put our dollars where our mouths are, and if we're really going to bring about change, it does have to come from us. Who's going to care about us if we don't care about us? And that was back to the point I was making in that David Banner thing. Crazy. We have to put action behind feelings, behind vision. You know what I mean? Back to when you were talking about Dr. King, Malcolm X, he was able to mobilize people. When Rosa Parks got arrested on that bus, the whole city, right, Martin Luther King was able to get the entire city. It's not 2 or 3 NFL players on the sideline kneeling down because everybody else is afraid of what is going to happen in retaliation. We had to mobilize. We had to get people on the ground to get behind the movement and make it work. That's all.
That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. I think anger and concern about negative outcomes has always been a stronger motivator than satisfaction with the outcome that you wanted. When you get across the board, when you get what you want, when you get rich, when you succeed, you get complacent, you get lazy. When you get this president in that you wanted, you get lazy. But I actually value Donald Trump as a president much more than I do Obama because I fucking hate Trump. And I feel like a lot of people feel that same way, and I think that that's going to be the motivation.
You better watch your mouth talking about the great pumpkin.
Can I say good night?
You better watch your mouth talking about the great pumpkin. But this is the final words. Quasi, I don't know if you got final words, but I'm going to let Lady J.
That was my final word right there. That was it. I'm done.
All right, cool, Lady J.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on the show, Chico.
Oh, no problem. Thank y'all for having me.
No problem. Welcome back.
For your input.
Go ahead, Lady J. You can do your closing words.
Yeah, I just want to apologize to everyone.
Don't apologize. No, fuck that. No. You weren't unruly. You was Lady J. You did your damn.
But I've never, in all my years,
you better not say
it. It's been 5-6 years. You've never kicked me off or muted me.
I ain't kicked you off. I just muted you because you are, when you get on your point, you a fucking pit bull. And I appreciate that.
I went online and listened to you.
I appreciate that shit. But, you know, sometimes I can't, I'm married. I can't deal with that shit.
I am inspired tonight, and I just want to remind each and everyone listening now, listening in the future, that we are in the midst of the Great Awakening. Do something today and every day in the name of the movement. Read a book, article, donate to a cause. Remember that our Instagram, our Snapchat, our Twitter, our Facebook are all our platforms, and we have the right and the opportunity to promote positive images and portrayals of our people, as well as to enlighten our people. So I just want to encourage everyone to do so. I want to tell you to participate politically, whether that is signing a petition, marching, planning a peaceful protest, participate in a boycott. Today, this day, every day, always remember, if we want change, we must learn to keep more change in our pocket. It's time for us to put the unity back in the community. I'm all for the action. Remember our Nguzu Saba principles each and every day. Allow us to use them to begin the infrastructure in our community, which is needed. We talked tonight about going into these institutions where we are not represented so that we can begin to be agents of change. So I have been inspired. I've been enlightened. I have been put on mute, but it's okay. And, you know, the choice is ours. United we stand, divided we fall. It is nation building time.
I say.
Brother
Shaka, you been quiet on the line. I know it's been hard, brother, but you get the final word.
Good evening, brothers, sisters, and friends, family, and otherwise. My final words for tonight are going to be brief. I believe that when it comes to communication, the things we communicate, therefore verbalize, it's time for us to be able to show just as much as we talk about it. So with that in mind, as we move into the following week and the following day, the following hour, be sure to exercise some diligence in the way that we move about. Some type of what's the word I'm looking for? We have to be very direct with the words that we use and put the action behind them. If we want people to believe in our state of urgency, then we have to demonstrate that. There, when all is said and done, ain't nothing left to say to.
God damn, that was short, Shaka. I thought you was gonna do a song or some shit. But hey.
Well, if you wanted me to do a song, I'd do a song. I just didn't want to just jump in here on,
listen,
be that dude.
Listen, hold on. Usually you get caught up in the fray. Your ass was, you did some shit that I've been wishing that I could do sometime and just fade to the back, and you just was laying down. Nigga, if you want to do a song, by all means, do a song. And also, I want you, when you come on the show, to start letting people know where they can support your art. Because like artists are the vanguards of the revolution, and we got to start putting our artists forward, especially those that are talking about stuff that we want our children to hear about, that we need to be thinking about. You know what I'm saying? So you need to let them, you need to put that information up so that they know where to find you. I'm not playing.
Hey, I do want to make a song with you, Shaka.
Where are you?
Who said that?
That's Quasi. You
ain't know I had bars, bro?
He think he can sing or no, Can you sing?
I can't sing. Well, I might do, but I
can sing.
I got bars, though.
Y'all heard me sing.
Pick a beat. Here we go. Nah.
Drink your water.
Hey, man.
Drink.
And you know what? I appreciate that question. The thing is that something that I learned from an old graffiti artist, man. this old graffiti artist said, I would rather, even if you can't paint, I would rather paint with somebody that's got a great attitude than an asshole who thinks he knows everything. Right? And that let me know even the state of hip hop on that street level, on the very organic level, even though they're trying to create positivity on the walls, I mean, the person that's painting that piece with you, the vibration got to be right. If we creating art together, the vibration got to be right. And especially back then, the risk that they took together, they're committing a crime together to get this message out.
Come here.
Yeah, I'm raw, man. I'm raw. I got concepts and ideas and words in my mind, but you are polished, man. And I feel like humble. Y'all was kind of, thank you for actually humbling me down. I was kind of sounding a little braggadocious, but I ain't know. I've never really. I made like two songs like that actually got recorded in my life. You know what I mean? I like kicking little raps, and I've been did some poetry, but I feel like you do it at a high level, and I would be honored to be in the studio with you. All jokes aside.
I done did several albums and shit myself. I'm
a rapper too. Don't forget me, walking minor misdemeanor.
Oh snap!
Yeah, I feel like
I'm gonna need a bodyguard coming around you.
So here's what we gonna do then. What I like to do is invite everybody to Google The Mind of Shaka, and any way that you can connect with me, whether it be through my YouTube channel, whether it be through my Facebook page, or however, get in touch, because right now I'm not necessarily doing my show on any particular day. It's just when the feeling is there, when I'm inspired to, just like when I'm inspired to create, I make time to, I don't try to force it. When I go on live, the whole point is for us to be able to build a cipher. So not just being able to relate in the conversations that we're having, in the dialogue, but also in song and in poetry. If we got something to share, then let's create a platform to be able to share that sense of healing, that sense of solution. So that is what the Mind of Shaka is all about. So I'm looking forward to all of y'all.
Can they purchase stuff on the Mind of Shaka? Can they purchase stuff on the Mind of Shaka? Shaka.
Well, no. Listen. I have to take ownership of my own site. So in a while, yes, you'll be able to. You'll be able to pick up everything.
This is what we're gonna do. I am going to talk with Shaka. I'm gonna make some of his stuff available on my shit so that you be able to support him in some way. Me and him got to come up with some way where, because I can't have, listen, arts are one of the ways that we can finance everything that we doing. We know this. We got to come on now. I don't want them to come to the street some shit. I want them to be able to get a dime bag of soul or some shit like that.
Yeah, at this very moment, I don't have the new link, but I will. I just joined DistroKid, so my whole catalog of songs and beats are going to be available very, very soon. I'm putting a beat package together where it's called the Beats of Beats of the, what's the word I'm looking for, Tim? Symbiotic
Cipher.
So you will be able to, by next week at least, Google Beats of the Symbiotic Cipher.
You know what's wrong, right? You know what's wrong.
What's that?
You know what's wrong.
What's that?
You need some ambrosia. You've been drinking on that Shaka shit. You need some of this ambrosia. So I'm gonna get you.
I need some of that ambrosia.
I'm going to brew. I didn't brew this weekend like I was planning, so I'm gonna have to brew. But I ain't gonna be able to.
That's the same thing. That's the same. You know what? You were so crazy.
Kombucha every day, man. So I need to start giving you that money, man. Seriously.
See, and now, once again, that's the staple. See, because the couple of things that we can't control, we can control the brews and we can control the music. We not only do you need, not only on a daily basis, do we need to be able to sip on, whether we talking about Shaka's grew up north or that ambrosia here? You know, cause he called his the June, Red June. Up north, we got ambrosia right here in Columbus. But then also we need to be able to feast on music that can help create and guide us and keep us awake while we're going to work. And sometime when we at work, we could play it for some of our young people, that they could start picking up messages, because they need to hear that shit and they need to see the shit in our actions. And that's what the vanguards or the artists present for us. So Shaka, I hope you got your shit queued up.
Let me go ahead and hit y'all with something there.
Was that your stomach?
No, I think that was Hot Tim.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm hungry. All right.
I
think somebody's stomach funky.
I heard. It go like this. I said, if we stand on our ancestors' shoulders, they told us the road less traveled is the coldest. Yo, it's soldiers. The bitterest of winds couldn't hold us. They thought they broke us. You know it's bogus. But brethren to the back, stay focused and spread plagues fierce like locusts. And all my smokers, cigarette smoke, no jokers, and found a new way to choke us. Attention, soldier, we gotta make them fear they spoke us. Lynch like the willie that sold us. Mystery unfold I shine. Where my people at, make some noise for the movement. Feel the rhythm of the music we groove with. Now pay attention to the words I say. I go.
Amen.
I go.
Amen.
Where my people at, make some noise for the movement. Feel the rhythm of the music we groove with. Now pay attention to the words I say. I go.
Amen.
Amen. I go.
Amen.
I want to thank God for the gift that He grants to me to break down things so you can see the truth, the light with all my soul, from funk, jazz, and rock and roll. Me say wicked man rule, what's overdue? A revolution you and I may come true. We all born sinner and we won't break free until we overcome hypocrisy. So stop pointing finger, reach to the sky, listen to the message, hold your head high, say na 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 na, and they be like na 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 na. We need to stop speculating and move into action. The war isn't waiting, it's just getting disastrous. Time to change the way we think, what we say, what we do, strategize, find the tools to build and execute. We are the ones that's chosen. The enemy is closing. They got the masses hypnotized. It's time for us to open their eyes. Words from the wise, never cast the pearls among swine. It's just a waste of time, 'cause they can't see you shine when you walk amongst the blind. Even when you reflect, divine. Words from the wise, never cast your pearls among swine. It's just a waste of time, 'cause they can't see you shine when you walk amongst the blind. Even when you reflect. Ha.
Divine. Family.
That's my favorite song, by the way. That's the song when I was like, I want to donate and get Shaka on, get an album. That song is beautiful, Shaka.
Shaka got about 5 albums. And he's sitting on that shit. And that's what I'm saying. Once he get the site up, what we have to do is be able to spread the word, minister of propaganda. You know what I'm saying? Rather than argue with my ass, why don't you argue with some new motherfuckers about what they need to buy? You keep on arguing with me. Just leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? I love you, though. Family, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We have slayed another folktale, and the folktale has led us to the point to where we had heated discussions. The folktale has led us, hopefully, as individuals to a different point than where we started, a better point. The conversation don't stop here. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube on 2 channels. Facebook on 2 channels. We on stream.me. We are on Periscope. Please keep posting your comments, your thoughts about the folktale. Now, you're going to argue with us about our individual views, but I want you to build on the folktale, because the folktale was the center of all of this, right? So now, Let's keep on building, family. I thank and I love each and every last one of you. And thank you for joining us from the journey, in the journey. And I need you to understand that you are standing amongst the congregation of mighty. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. God damn it, Anime. Pull it from down here. Try it again.
Eat the cake, Anime.
God damn it. Eat the cake, Anime. Eat. Thank you. Alright, and this is a Heart of a Simple production. You know what I'm saying? And this has been Folktales for Grown Folks. Simba, you was on point. You need to talk with Anime because she about to lose her job. But we strive to do nothing but blow up your old paradigms. We are out. I will see you in the morning, 5:15, between 5:15 and 5:30 for the Daily Toast. Peace out, fam.